here we are in the very first book of the Bible, the book of Genesis, or beginnings as the Hebrew expresses. That's what Genesis means. It means beginnings. And there's a lot of controversy around Genesis. And I'll tell you why. Because if you do away with Genesis, you do away with the rest of the Bible. It is a foundational book, and it's important that we take it as it is presented. And as it's presented is a real historical book. A real historical book written by a real historical author. God used the man Moses to write down the first 5 books of the Bible: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. And some would say, well, there's scholars that say that he probably didn't. Well, I'm going to go ahead and go with Jesus because Jesus said that he did. Jesus affirmed it. That's all that I need for my verification. And what happened is that God had rescued his people from bondage in Egypt, and he was writing down their history. Well, it's important to know the beginning of history. Sometimes parents would sit down with their children at a dinner table, and the children were asked, well, who was your mom and dad? And who was their mom and dad? They want to know about their history. That's important. We're narrative creatures. We have a story of our own, a real life story that makes us who we are. Well, the same thing happened in redemption. The same thing happened inside of Israel. It's important to know your story, and so God is taking us all the way back. Well, the important things for you to know about Genesis is how it is laid out. The book of Genesis revolves around 4 major events and 4 major individuals. The 4 major events are going to be creation, the fall, the flood, and the Tower of Babel. That covers the first 11 chapters of Genesis. And then in chapters 12 through chapter 50, you have 4 major individuals, and that is Abraham, that is Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. Now it's really interesting how this is laid out, because you have just 11 chapters that tell you about humanity in creation. And then you have 12 through 50. All of those chapters telling us about just individuals and their families. And some are really confused by this, but we really shouldn't be confused by this. You see, God is more interested in people than he is in planets. God wants you to know more about salvation than he does about the formation of the stars. And so you have this beginning section where God created everything and he just laid it out for us. And it's wonderful, it's marvelous to think about. It's wonderful to look up in the heavens and know that there's a creator. But more important than just how God created this universe, just know that he did, but more important is how God forms you. Oh, and what sin did to us. And how God said in Genesis 3, he was going to fix it all. And then I want you to pay attention to these people. I want you to pay attention to the faith of Abraham and his struggles in terms of trusting God, actually all of them. Look at Jacob and the way that he runs. Look at Isaac in the way that he has to pick up and leave constantly because he's being harassed by those who oppose him. Look at Joseph as he's down in the pit. Watch how God sovereignly works in the lives of his people. And then you can apply those things to you. So that's the breakdown of Genesis. That's what you need to know as you approach this wonderful book. Happy reading.